Christmas is simply shocking. It's startling. It's astonishing. I'm dumbfounded. It's totally bewildering. It's astonishing. It's dazzling. It's perplexing. It's like electrifying. It's stunning. It's confounding. It's like, wow. It's like a wow. Like, it is really staggering. I use that word a lot. But Christmas is fantastic. Even though fantastic has the word fantasy in it, there's no fantasy. It actually happened. It's real. What is so astonishing and wonderful about Christmas? You probably already know. But let me go a little deeper, and maybe you know this too, but to really see it. See, we say these things. We talk about Jesus. We talk about the wonder of God, the awe of God. But to really see it, like to see the dimensions of it, it's really beyond contemplation. It's beyond your mind. It's incomprehensible. It's like, whoa! I'm kidding. I'm not exaggerating. But I do want to give you the drama of it, the fantastic theater of what happened 2,000 years ago. To get a hold of the fact that this great, awesome God who fills the universe, his presence and the infinite character of God and all his power and his wisdom and his love and the greatness of God cannot be told. And I don't believe it will ever be told for eternity. I don't think it'll be ever told. I think we have these little words that try and describe the greatness of God and his magnificence. I love the word majesty. I looked it up years ago, and it means greatness. To think that God himself, and this is so fantastic, would come down, stoop down to a planet, a little planet, and there's 10 to the, it's how many, 10 quintillion or something, 100 quintillion, I don't know. I'll do it this way. The number of planets suggested or guessed at, speculated to be in the universe, according to scientists, is this many. I'm going to write it out. Are you ready? Thank you for being patient. That many quintillion, 8 sets of zeros, and then 10 quintillion. We're talking about a lot of planets in the universe. And for God to decide to come on the one that he made that enabled life to live on it, to come to this planet, Earth, to come to this little blue planet, small little planet here, for God to become a human being. I mean, it's one thing for a creature to become a creature, which is ridiculously amazing. Like if I decide to become an ant, like if you decide you wanted to become like a little ant here, a little ant-like creature here, okay, to become an ant, to hang out with the ants, to be an ant, to act, talk, smell like an ant, be an ant itself. Like if a human decides, oh, I love those ants so much, I'm going to become an ant, or any other insect or any other creature, whether it's a life form of bacteria, a germ, a roach, to become a roach, to win the roaches, those nasty creatures. God looks at us in our sin, those nasty creatures, and decides to become a creature. For a creator to become a creature is like beyond understanding. I mean, the gulf, the big, vast separation from infinite God to become finite. To literally come into time. He who is timeless. He was outside of time. Let's say this is time, the universe, and when he said in the beginning, that's when time began. The first verse in Genesis 1:1, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. To come out of time and enter into time, for Jesus to come into time, staggering, stunning, shocking. It's God. To come into time, to limit himself. He's unlimited. He's eternal now. He's outside of time. He's from eternity to eternity, and he lives in every segment of that spectrum. He lives in the past and the future and the now. Do you understand what I mean by perplexing, really challenging to the thoughts? And then for God to come out of space into space. He's outside of the universe and in the universe, but he limited himself and became into space. He came out of time, from infinite to time. He came out of space into space. And then he who is spirit, invisible presence, became matter. And he became a little baby. Like for God to become a baby, smaller than this, in the womb, in the inside of a mother, in the inside of a mother, into the womb, into that small space, smaller than this, like he became less than a seed. He's like that. Feel that just for a second. To be that small, who filled the universe. I'm speechless, almost speechless, at what God did for us. He stooped very low, and he became like me, God walking around as a little boy, God crawling around like a baby, experiencing everything that babies go through, everything that children go through, everything that teenagers go through. If you're a teenager, he relates. He had all the things that we have, human emotions, feelings. He had all the limitations of body and all its bodily functions. Had to go to the bathroom and everything. Wow. You think he didn't cut himself? You didn't think he bled blood? Well, we know he did because, on the cross he did. And he did all that to get to the cross. He said, well, I got to get to the cross. And so to be able to get to the cross, I've got to become human. And what an incredible plan. This is a great God that I love. Oh, I love Jesus. And I love the Father for sending Jesus. What an ingenious and brilliant plan. And more than that, he actually enters us. Now, through spirit, he can't do it in flesh and flesh. I don't think so. Could have done it that way, but God, managed to think of a different way, and that is his spirit comes in. There you go. Let's revel. Let's go wild. Let's go ballistic. Let's get crazy about this great God of the heavens who came to earth and died for you and me. But let's just start thinking about just Christmas alone. Like, remember him, that lowly human being laid in a manger for you and me. Think about it. Let's worship him.